Hello. Hello, Romana. You're up late. Oh wait, no, it's only 10. You're Dutch too, right? Hello, Anthony. Hello, Mickey. What is happening is that I have to play through all the child dungeons again for the millionth, I guess millionth time at this point. Because I need footage, and I have installed a texture pack for Ocarina of Time HD. So if I use footage of the normal version and then the HD texture pack, it's not going to be consistent, so I have to play through the entire thing again, or at least through all the child dungeons, and capture some footage. Hey, vaguely roll it. I'm so thorough. Yeah, well, I'm making it very, very difficult for myself sometimes. I'm pretty sure most people wouldn't even notice if I used two different versions in one video, but it's just how my brain works. Oh, I still have moon jump on. I should probably turn that off, or else I'm cheating. It will come in handy later, though. You will see when I capture footage of the marketplace. I can easily get Link out of the way. But you but you have a brain. Thankfully I do, yeah. Although there are some days where I feel like, do I really? But yeah, I'm working on an Ocarina of Time video, so, and then I came across an HD texture pack, which I think it looks pretty decent. Some of the shaders are a little bit off. Some of the effect, like, I don't like the smoke. Like, it's, the animation on it is very weird. I could remove it probably, because you can easily get rid of certain textures and use your own. I also managed to remove the HUD using custom textures, because everything is a texture in this game, so even the hearts and that little big button at in the bottom right corner, everything's gone, so I can just easily capture footage. The water looks nice though. I should probably pay attention to what I'm doing though. Anthony says, Don, I watched the speedrunner beat the entire game without completing any dungeons. Uploading the game's glitches. It was kind of cool learning about the game in that way. Oh yeah, speedrunners are freaking insane. It's crazy. They're so thorough, and they go the extra mile. They figure out everything, all in the name of being, like, saving microseconds sometimes. It's nuts. I wouldn't be able to do that. I would probably screw it up at the last moment. I can't wait for the announcement of the Ocarina of Time remake in the near future, says Jeffrey. I mean, if they're gonna do it, then I'm fine with it, but... that means we're gonna have 3 versions of Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I remembered you were Dutch. Let me see, where's the second screen at? Oh, there we go. I got 40 bucks already. Oh, but now it's blocking chat. That's very annoying. Okay, there we go. I think it's only 40. I gotta do something about the text, though. Although for the video I'm probably just gonna use my own custom text box, because that looks nicer. But yeah, the text is the only thing that still looks like really low res. Your video might release someday. I've been having a bit of a holiday also. I went on a trip. I haven't been working as much as I normally do. I'll try to make up for that. I got some videos planned. I still need to make a video about Echoes of Wisdom. I guess just give my own thoughts on it so far. What I think of the game so far. Can you please tell Ratatoska to unban me? I don't have that kind of power, yo. Yeah, it looks kind of crisp, right? Some of the textures you can clearly tell are just AI upscaled. So it's not all good. But it looks better than the standard version. Oh, thanks, John. Well, I'm back from my trip now. It's time to get back to the grind. I want to do a video on Masterworks for sure, because I've been diving into that. My copy finally arrived. Actually, do you mean by crispy, do you mean like good, or do you mean like the textures are very like jagged? Because not all the textures are better, I feel. They're just high res. But for the video, I think it will serve it pretty well. Opinion on the murder and cannibalism of the Witt brother in the Netherlands in 1672. Jeez. No, I don't, because I wasn't around back then. That was a long time ago. Do I have it? Yeah, I do have everything equipped. I've tried to tackle Masterworks so many times, but I always lose steam. You mean the Japanese version? It looks wonderful to me. The text boxes are a bit pixelated. Yeah, they are definitely pixelated. Yeah! I found a stick. I'm just gonna farm for sticks. I'm looking forward to Echoes of Wisdom. It looks better with every trailer. The more I see of the game, the more I feel like it's gonna be a pretty great game. Yeah, they're not OP in this version though. Did you know that? They nerfed it for the 3DS version. The Deku stick. In the original they do double damage of... I think they do the same amount of damage as the Master Sword, if I remember correctly. But in this version they nerfed it. It's now like the same strength as the Kokiri sword, I think. They already showed too much. Well, to be fair, I haven't watched everyone's analysis or everyone's demo footage, or but I did see all the teaser trailer stuff. I think there's plenty to be surprised by. It's not like Nintendo to show everything. They always have more up their sleeve. Well, like we haven't seen that much of the still world, for example. That weird rift dimension. I didn't know, I only played the N64 version. Oh yeah, it's one of those small little details that... I don't even think I discovered it myself. I think I got it from my brother. Oh, I got the mini-map on screen now. Forgot to remove that one. I guess the dungeon mini-maps still work. All the other mini-maps I've managed to remove with custom textures. Just I made them transparent. I'm kind of leery of Echoes of Wisdom, but cautiously optimistic after hearing some reports from people playing review copies. Like in the beginning I did have my own reservations about the game. for sure. Like the idea, especially the combat was a little bit, I was a bit on the fence about that. It's like, okay, so I have to spawn monsters and I have to use all these different ways to fight enemies. Can I not just use the stick to hit them? Because it just makes every enemy an ordeal. But it's actually now with the whole sword fighter option, it's looking way better. So that's yeah. And I like the atmosphere. A lot of people don't like the art style of the new Link's Awakening art style. I do. I think it's great. I think it has a charm to it. It's not for everyone. I just hope it runs better than Link's Awakening did. Because that game had some serious frame dips, which is kind of, you know, unforgivable for a game with that type of graphic style. Let's see. Hey, Senor Divine Beast. I'm doing good. How about you? I like the art style, but I don't like the blur that shows at the edges of the... Yeah, fair, fair. I did notice that too. I do like me some depth of field, but they kind of overdid it a little bit. I definitely agree with you on that one. They could tone it down just a little bit. I've done it too in my own animations sometimes, where I just went a little overboard, especially when you first discover that you can do that. But yeah, it should be a little bit further to the edge. Like only like very distant objects should be blurred like that. Zelda's in a fun spot right now with the Masterworks and Echoes of Wisdom. Oh yeah, yeah, it's a good time to be a Zelda fan. For sure. I'm very excited. Have any of you been reading Masterworks? Or just picking up on the translations other people have done? It's I have very mixed feelings about it, let's just put it that way. There's some really cool stuff in that where I'm like, okay, yeah, that's nice of them to clarify that kind of stuff, and there's some parts of the lore that I appreciate more now and have a better understanding of, but there's also a few spots where I'm like, like it's looking more and more like it's probably gonna be a retcon of the entire series that came before. Which is fine, but it's not what I would have preferred, obviously. The fire doesn't look that great. They could have done a better job with this texture pack. Fire looks kind of wonky. I have very mixed feelings on Tears of the Kingdom in general, mostly negative. Oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. Hold on. Two, three, 1. 23 is number 1. Let me see. Again, I'm usually wrong though. Well, you cannot be wrong about an opinion like that. If you have mixed feelings about Tears of the Kingdom, you have mixed feelings about Tears of the Kingdom. You cannot change how you feel about something. That's like probably the most irritating thing about this whole discussion we've had from the beginning now. That it seems like you're only allowed to voice positive stuff. And if you don't, you're kind of like labeled as a hater or an elitist or whatever. And it's like, well, it's not like I can change how I feel about it. And, you know, again, I'm generally pretty positive about Tears of the Kingdom. I like the game. I enjoy the game. I just don't like the lore very much. Or at least, let's put it that way, I have some problems with the lore. Here's the Kingdom is a weird anomaly. Mostly an enjoyable anomaly. Yeah, that's how I would label it myself as well. Do you plan on tackling all the child dungeons today? I kind of have to, because I need to upload my video next week, or else it's going to be 5 weeks since my last upload, and I do want to kind of get back to the grind, or else the YouTube algorithm is going to hate me. So, yeah, I guess I do, because I do have to capture footage of Zelda escaping from the castle and the dying soldier, and both of my other 2 save files I've already played past that point, so I can no longer capture that. I tried to look up, maybe someone has a save file like right after all the 3 child dungeons, but excuse me, but yeah, it doesn't seem to exist. I should back up my saves more often. I always forget to do that. It's very easy to do, but fear the YouTube algorithm, it rules your life. I try not to. I try to keep that thought like out of my head, because I don't want YouTube to become my employer, where it's like they tell me what to do. Like, the whole point of doing YouTube is that you have the freedom to make your own decisions. Like, but YouTube will kind of punish you if you don't upload very often. That is definitely the case. Although I do have to say, YouTube has been pretty generous with me. They seem to like me. It's very weird. Like, my last 2 videos did very well, even though I hadn't uploaded for quite a while, and my last few videos didn't do like exceptionally well. Which is kind of the case for most Zelda YouTubers. Pretty much everyone except Zelda has kind of been struggling to some degree compared to the views that they were getting right after Breath of the Wild and during the wait for Tears of the Kingdom. Would you 100% Ocarina of Time from memory? I don't know. I feel like I could, but I will run into some brick walls for sure, where I'm like struggling to think of, because I am pretty good at the randomizer. I do know every treasure chest and all that stuff, so I think I could probably, but I couldn't do it very fast. But I have played this game so much, so many times. Tears of the Kingdom does seem to have done some damage to overall interest in Zelda lore and theories on YouTube. Yeah, I think that much is undeniable. I think that is true. Which, you know, it's not a huge deal though. It's just one game. Some people make it like bigger, into something much bigger than it really is. Like, how many franchises have had that one game or that one movie or that one episode that's just not very good or disappointing or divisive or whatever you want to call it? Because I don't want to call it bad, because that's obviously subjective. The imprisoning war is just... Well, that's the thing. Like, I've been reading a lot of stuff from Masterworks. I've been translating like crazy. Well, I've been using Google Translate. Let's just put it that way. I don't read Japanese at all. But I do have to say, Google Translate gets you pretty damn close. You might miss out on some of the nuance, but for the most part it does a pretty solid job. But yeah, I've been reading some stuff about the whole Sealing War and some of the stuff that happened during the Sealing War that we don't actually see in the game, and I'm like, it would have been so cool if we actually saw this. Like, there's entire sections about how the war happened and how they tried to recapture Hyrule Castle from Ganondorf after he took it over. Like, the Ganondorf and his army, they took over Hyrule Castle on the Great Plateau. Not the new Hyrule Castle, but the old one, Raru's castle. And then the army fled to the Forgotten Temple, I believe. Yeah, Forgotten Temple. And then they tried to recapture it. They failed, and a lot of people died, and then they retreated again, this time to the where Hyrule Castle would be built later, so the Temple of Light. And I'm like, that's the kind of stuff I wanted to see, or at least read about in the game itself, you know? This looks much better than the N64 version. Well, I do have a custom texture pack installed. It doesn't actually look this great normally. It's still, like, the models are more detailed, but the textures are... It was meant for a 3DS screen, so obviously, you know. What are we capturing footage for? For my next upcoming Zelda video, which is gonna be my last, like, old school Zelda theory video. After that, I'm gonna go and move on to some more topical stuff. A video about Echoes of Wisdom, probably just my general thoughts about the game so far. Some stuff about Masterworks. I am going to continue doing old school Zelda theories as well, but I do have to spice it up a little bit. So after this one, I'm going to do something a little different for like 1 or 2 videos. Hey Rainbow Love, nice of you to join. First time. Well, you're not missing out on much. I don't consider my streams to be like high quality content. But as long as people enjoy themselves, I'm good. Yeah, it is an exciting time to be a Zelda fan, for sure. Plenty of stuff on the way. Greetings from Germany. Germany. Hello, neighbor. Nice to see this game again for the zillionth time. I think I've played through this game on stream like at least 2 times now. Any stream where we can talk about Zelda is top quality content. Well, there you go. The fact that they make you grind out the depths just to get rewarded with the same outfits and clothing from Breath of the Wild is the same level of padding as Skyward Sword. Yeah, I'm mostly inclined to agree with that. The rewards could have been a little less lazy. There's a few new outfits that are pretty cool, but not enough to warrant, especially with the size of the depths. Like, also the depths, Masterworks actually confirmed some stuff about the depths that I think is pretty cool. Like, it kind of confirms my video about the... I made that video about Yomi no Kuni, the underworld of Japanese mythology. And they do indeed confirm in the book that it is the underworld, basically. It's not the afterlife, but it's like... In Japanese mythology, it's all a bit weird. Like, there's not really an afterlife in Shintoism, I believe. It's just you only get one life, and after that you can... Some people transform into spirits or kami, that's possible. But obviously Zelda takes inspiration from both Western mythology and also their own mythology, so... You know, the whole gods and the Triforce, that's very Roman. The you know, the Hylians, their culture is very Roman. So it takes little bits and pieces from every type of mythology and idea, which I think is pretty cool. You're a neighbor to Germany. Where are you from? I'm from the Netherlands. The tiny, tiny neighbor next to Germany. You liked the Depths Underworld video. Well, thank you. The only thing I hated about that video was my own voiceover. I thought especially in the beginning when it starts very robotic, almost. I don't know what was up with me that day when I was recording, but... For some reason, I just sound like very, very bored. in that video. I have no idea what happened. Sometimes I just have one of those days where I record and then I listen to it afterwards. I'm like, what the heck? I sound like I'm depressed or something, which I'm not, but... Oh well. Every video I finish, I always have my gripes with it afterwards. AI Dawn. Yeah. It almost sounds like AI. I wonder if I fed my own voiceovers into an AI and just have it do my voice performance for me. I wonder if people would notice. To be honest, I don't know. It would definitely save a lot of time, but I'm not gonna do that though. I do want my videos to be authentic. And if that means I have to struggle in front of a microphone for 2 days, so be it. You getting Echoes of Wisdom or skipping it? Oh, I'm definitely getting it. It looks fun. Looks very fun. Actually, I already have your voice model. Oh no. Don't make me say anything embarrassing, please. That's gonna get easier and easier. People are gonna just be able to make you say anything. Like, we have to do some... Like, I think it's up to the people who develop that software, that they build something into the software, like into the metadata or whatever, to prevent people from thinking it's real. So it's like a failsafe. If something ever gets published, like some world leader saying like, I'm gonna drop nukes tomorrow, like they have to be able to at least check if that video is authentic. Or else we're gonna destroy ourselves, for sure. Because people are so impulsive. You can see that with everything, like when an allegation drops against a creator or whatever, people are always, immediately they have their mind made up. Like, well, how about we wait until all the facts are on the table? That just seems to be so difficult for people. To just wait until you have the full picture. Hey Daniel, how you doing? Nice of you to join. No, we were talking about AI voiceover. I said before, like, if I fed my own voiceovers, which I have tons of by this point, into a AI algorithm and I would just let it do the voice for me, would people actually notice? Because I'm not the most expressive person in terms of my voice. Like, I talk pretty monotonous, I would say. Like a bit like Nero. I don't have like the hey everybody like and subscribe. Like, I don't have that like super expressive HMK type of energy to my voice. So I was wondering if people can actually tell the difference if I did. I should probably, maybe I should just do it as a test one time. It's just as a joke, maybe as an April Fool's joke or something. And then we started talking about AI in general. Well, I mean, there's a place for those types of voices too. Like, I like Nero's content exactly because of how dry and monotonous he sounds. It fits his content very well. Not everyone has to have that super Chad energy to their content. I mean, we cannot all have super sexy voices or accents, you know? Like Hyrule Gamer's Scottish accent. Or Zeltic's storyteller English-British accent. Zelda Master. The OG. That guy has been around for such a long time. I don't know how he does it. Like, he's been doing this for, what, 10 years at this point? We don't choose our voices, which is weird. I wish we could. I wish when we got born we have like a character select screen, like... Or like a character builder at the beginning where you can just decide. You can train your voice, yeah. I don't think I'm gonna make it to Hyrule Castle in time. Like in Fallout, when you get born in Fallout 3, you just decide what your voice is gonna be, your appearance. You just decide that. Oh, I just missed it. Come at me, bro. Actually, this is a good time to re-chat. I'll just stand in the safe spot here. Interesting how they don't come out when you're standing on a path, right? What is the lore behind that? Are they afraid of sand? Is this sand special? Has it been infused with some kind of magic that wards off the dead? What are you using, Harcanian? No, this is the 3DS version. So this is Citra. Rest in peace, Citra. LNMT says, I prefer monotone over overly hyped. Or overly hyper. Yeah, me too. It kind of depends on what kind. Like if it's... I like dry humor. So I do feel the same way. But maybe that's also because I'm a bit older now. I just don't have the energy to listen to someone like that. When your father retroactively changes race in Fallout 3. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Daniel said something. Let me check real quick. Oh no, my past self would fully have made me into a monstrosity during the character customization. Yeah, that's true, because you don't have life experience yet. So you still have the brain of a child, basically, when you do that. There's a reason why we don't let kids have a tattoo. Because kids cannot make those decisions. I think when it comes to that, there's a sort of authenticity that is appealing. When people are playing it up, it feels like they're being fake, I guess. Yeah, although there are people who are genuinely just like that. There are people who are genuinely very energetic. Like HMK is like the way he is in his videos, he's the exact same in real life. Like he's not pretending. Maybe he plays it up just a little bit here and there. Could be, I don't know. But having met the guy, he is as energetic as he is in his videos. You know, those people are... There's something about those people that I admire. The fact that they can always be, you know, cranked up to 11 the whole day. I would get tired of it. I just can't do it. Well, that's a whole nother discussion, Shadow Wizard. I wonder if that is a callback to Adventure of Link, when you stay on the path and you're safe. Oh, is that true? Those little black enemies, those blobs, they don't appear when you're on the path? But if it is, that's pretty interesting. Comedy Long Pants Gamer. That's a great name, by the way. Thank you so much. Loved your content forever. Wish you would post more Tears of the Kingdom lore stuff and speculation on DLC. Well, I don't think we're gonna get DLC. I think that pretty much is confirmed, so... But now that Masterworks is out, I will dive into Tears of the Kingdom lore a little bit more. That's for sure. Because there is a lot of stuff to talk about. That's the great thing about those books, is that they do provide so many cool things to talk about. Oh, I gotta get the egg. It's just that I wish they would have mentioned some of that stuff in the actual game, you know, so that when you finish playing, you feel a sense of satisfaction. Now we had to wait for a year to get the explanations. Which way up is the owl's head? I always wondered that too. Also, owls don't turn their heads like that, I'm pretty sure. I think they only can turn their heads like sideways all the way around, like 360 degrees, or almost 360 degrees. I don't think they can actually turn their heads like upside down. You know what I mean? Actually, there's a Skulltula in here. Gossip Guy says, "Hey Monster Maze, is this Citra with HD textures? Looks great." Yeah, it is. It is. With a few little tweaks of my own, I removed all the mini maps. So I just dumped all the textures that I don't want to show up on screen, and I just changed them all to transparent. So technically there is a mini map showing right now, but it's not visible, which is very handy. Very, very handy. That's why I'm using this version instead of the 3D or the N64 version. I have a little bit more control over this one now. Also, I just like the environments more in this version. Like, generally speaking, I still prefer the N64 version of Ocarina of Time. But for videos, the 3DS version is better because the environments are just so much more detailed. Don't let Nintendo know. Yeah, they've been kind of on a hunt lately when it especially people sharing Masterworks stuff. They don't like that. Potla Dog says, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Potla Dog. I recently found you through Zeltic. I love listening to your videos on my drive to work in the morning. Helps. Let me see. Sorry, the chat is a little bit too far away for me to read easily. Helps to get a good start to the day. Thanks for your hard work. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. I also love like listening to other people's content either while I drive or right before sleep. It's always great. Because music gets me too hyped up when I try to sleep. So I just listen to stuff. What's Masterworks? It's a book that's coming out, or it's actually already out. At least the Japanese version is. With like concept art and lore and story exposition, development history of Tears of the Kingdom specifically. They also did that for Breath of the Wild back in the day. There is going to be an English version, I'm pretty sure of that, but that's going to take a while. Let me see, I have to wake this guy up. I prefer the original N64 version because of nostalgia purposes. Yeah, same. Also, there are genuinely some things I prefer. Wait, let me quickly get this guy out of the way. Best Zelda game of all time, no pun intended. It is timeless, for sure. But, like for example, Link's animations, I prefer them on the N64 version. I think he feels a little too floaty on this one. Also the roll. There's something about some of the animations that it just doesn't feel right to me. It felt like the characters had more weight on the N64 version. Yeah, he does feel floaty. I think it's just it's the animations. Like the way he walks. There's just something about the original where he's like he's really, you can feel the way he's stepping onto the floor, and here it feels like he's just moving his legs and he's just shuffling across, you know? Also the jump, for example, there's the way he lands on the original is much more impactful. I don't know. Some animations are better for sure, and obviously the models are way more detailed. Yeah, there's no inertia to it. There's just something about the original that was... It feels more snappy, it feels better. Why didn't I make that? That's weird. He's made of squishy stuff. John Good says, I know about Masterworks and all. Is that new for the series? Is there in Masterworks adjacent to Ocarina of Time? No, because they didn't start releasing. What? Oh wait, of course I have to put the other box on it. I'm an idiot. But they didn't start releasing books until after Skyward Sword came out. So they didn't go back and release a book for every Zelda game that was already out. So they just did 2 books with practically all the games in it up until that point, which was right before right before Breath of the Wild. And then they made one separately for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Oh yeah, it's dark, so I cannot go past the guards. I will get arrested immediately. I'll just stand here and read chat. The N64 original has this well-turned, especially for the time, sense of weight. Yes, exactly that. He has a pitter-patter to his walk. It's very hard to put it into words because some things are just... You can only feel it when you're playing. But yeah, it's exactly that. There's just something about the new animations that are... Even the sword slash... I prefer the original. Especially adult Link feels very weird to me. Young Link is a bit smaller, so you don't notice it as much. New remake in 2028. Yeah, why not? Let's just keep remaking Ocarina of Time until the end of time. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. As long as it doesn't take away from the development time of other Zelda games. Do you think Link will become a summonable echo in Echoes of Wisdom? I do think so, yes. Comedy Long Pants Gamer says, also, again, thank you so much. I think Majora's Mask Link being acrobatic is sus. Why is that sus? I remember seeing that for the first time, him doing those flips. I was like, whoa, that is so awesome. These are the worst guards ever. No wonder Hyrule Castle fell almost immediately. They're completely incompetent. What if I was an assassin? I would just kill Princess Zelda. Kill the royal princess. It's like, ugh! These guards are here for the pension. Well, they're all 1 day away from retirement, right? That's usually the cliche. What are the odds of getting Ocarina of Time 4K remake for Switch 2? Well, that depends if Switch 2 is gonna be native 4K, which I doubt, but yeah, we'll see. Hyrule's military seems to be always garbage. They kind of are, yeah. I don't remember any game where they actually do something worthwhile. It's always in backstories where they do the cool stuff, you know? Because allegedly the Knights of Hyrule helped to seal Ganon in the Fallen timeline, where Link dies. And like that's where they suddenly are badass and they go to war and all that stuff. The Hyrule Civil War, they won that too, so they kicked some Goron's asses and all that stuff. They defeated the Gerudo, all these other armies, but then when you actually play the game, they're always useless. Switch 2 is going to be fully DLSS dependent, I'm sure. Yeah, I think so too. which is fine by me. In Age of Calamity also, yeah. Although it was cool to see the whole army just gearing up to go to war. That was pretty cool. Especially at the end when they all try to recapture Hyrule Castle. Okay then, Larry. I forgot it. I named him Larry. Hyrule soldiers are pretty competent enemies in A Link to the Past. True, but they've been corrupted, so they don't have a mind of their own anymore. And you bring them back, you bring them all back to life. At the end, luckily. Because you slayed a lot of soldiers in that game. I wonder if Nintendo will try to develop an in-house GPU just to make game developers scream in the near future. I don't think they will go that far. We'll see. It is Nintendo after all. You never know for sure. Hyrule is too dependent on the spirit of the hero. Yeah, Hyrule has to fall first, and then they, you know, then they can finally do something. Hey Darth, what's up? Oh, we're gonna see Ganondorf. I think Ganondorf's textures in this texture pack are pretty bad, from what I remember. Oh, it's okay. His face is a little too... I don't know. Too much detail on his face. His skin looks like leather. Also, his armor is a little bit off. Now that I look at it, like up close, it's pretty bad. Tears of the Kingdom should have been DLC. Well, that was the plan, of course. Are you interested in playing Astro Bot, the recent Sony platform? I guess I am, but I don't have a PlayStation, and I don't intend on buying a PlayStation just to play one game. Because there's not a lot on PlayStation that I'm currently interested in. Most games that I do care about are on PC. Beautiful armor, 12 pixels. Yeah, exactly. A 10-year-old is more competent a warrior after having a sword for 5 minutes than these soldiers have been training for their whole lives. Yeah. Ooh, the back of that letter, the texture has been stretched. Not very good either. Luckily, I don't need those for my capture. So. Oh, I gotta play the ocarina. Oh, this is gonna be the worst because I've mapped my buttons like really, really weirdly. So I don't know if that's gonna make any sense. I'm gonna probably make dozens of mistakes just to play what is it called, Zelda's Lullaby. Is this a console or PC? It's PC. But don't tell Nintendo. It's a console PC. I actually own the game, and I also... Well, I own every Zelda game except Triforce Heroes. I no longer own a 3DS, though. In fact, I've never technically owned a 3DS. I only borrowed it. But I did have my own set of games. That is to say, like 4. The first note is gonna be a mistake. Yep. Which one is X? Which one is X? Oh, it's just these 3. Okay. Will you stream Echoes of Wisdom when it releases? Maybe. I generally don't stream my first playthrough because I just enjoy being on my own, enjoying the game. But we'll see. Maybe the first hour or something, or 2 hours. But I don't want to wait until the next stream to play again. It's just I don't know. It hampers my own experience with a game if I have to play it on stream right from the get-go. "3DS is such a vibe. Perfect handheld in my opinion." Yeah, although I do like the Switch too a lot. Do you plan to finish the game on stream? I've already finished it on stream like at least twice, I think, at this point. Like today we're only playing through the child dungeons because I need a specific piece of footage right before, like right after you beat all the child dungeons. You just open up, play, close your eyes, and you are set. Yeah. GBA junkie over here, though. Yeah, I was also big on GBA for sure. GBA was awesome. The scene where Link gets blasted by Ganondorf. Yeah, that scene as well, but also the part that comes after. I need the footage of. Actually, I have a list here of stuff that I still need to capture. I already captured some stuff. I managed to get the whole ending part of the whole ending scene. Actually, I'll show you that real quick. So what I did was I just played the whole ending sequence of A Link to the of Ocarina of Time, because I do have a save file that's like almost 100%. So I beat Ganondorf, and then while the final credits were playing, I dumped all the textures, which also includes the credits. The credits also that appear on screen are also just textures. So I just made them all transparent, so now I have the whole final scene here. Like this scene especially is important for my upcoming video. Like I have this whole sequence now without the credits. Normally there's like the credits of all the creators on like overlapped on screen, but now I have the whole thing without it. That's much better for the video. It took a while because at first I didn't know it was a texture. But it actually was, so. But yeah, I'll give a little bit of a clue what the video is about. It's about the Hyrule's missing people. After the 7-year gap, there's a few people that never show up in the game ever again. A few of them will return for the ending celebration, but some of them will actually stay gone forever. So the video is about that, about just what happened to some of these people, what could have happened to some of these people, because obviously we don't know for sure. It's never explained. You just discredited a full team. Yeah, that's true. Very, very disrespectful. I have to give the letter to... You know, some of those missing people, some of them are more famous than others, obviously. You have Graveyard Boy, which is a big one, because he just disappears and he's gone. Nobody knows where he went. Some thought he was the ghost shop guy, the Poe Hunter guy. Wait, let me see. Items. Oh, I do have the letter already mapped. Maybe they are just a transparent texture, who knows? Now the missing people are the ones from the credits. We all know who made Ocarina of Time. Shigeru Miyamoto. Not only have we decompiled lots of the game, We use glitches that give us total control of the RAM. Yeah. It's crazy how much is known about the inner workings of this game at this point. And the fact that people are still working on unraveling that is nuts after 25 years or so. Closing in on 26. Oh snap, he's alive. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, I'll get you your mask later. Actually, I have a suspicion, it's never confirmed anywhere, but I am pretty sure that this guy is Graveyard Boy's dad. And I think he actually lives here, as does his, well, what we can assume is his wife, because someone does speak from the other side of the door. I think he might be his dad, because he says he wants the Keaton mask, and that his kid has been asking for it too, or something like that. And, well, first of all, he's pretty much the only kid in town. That kind of narrows it down already. But he also, if you wear the Keaton mask and talk to the kid in the graveyard, he will say something like, oh, my dad also talked about the mask and getting it, or something like that. And he is also an acquaintance of the bazaar guy. The guy who works at the bazaar. If you talk to him, or you give him the mask, I think, or I don't remember exactly what you have to do, but at some point, if you talk to this guy, he will like put in a word for you, and you get a discount on the Hylian shield. So clearly, him and the bazaar guy know each other, and after 7 years, the bazaar guy moves into his house, if he is indeed the Graveyard Kid's dad. So that kind of makes sense. So either he died because he's a soldier, maybe he got called in to defend Hyrule Castle or something. Because aside from the Poe Hunter guy, there's not a single soldier in the future. They're all gone. So we don't know if all of them are dead, but we can assume that at least most of them did probably perish. We see one of them die in front of us in the back alley. As far as I can ascertain, as a guy with a bunch of Zelda tattoos, it's never confirmed in the game by the creators that he is the kid's father. But everything pretty much points to it. Yeah, exactly. That is, of course, that if we assume that he is from, or he lives at Kakariko Village. Maybe his family lives at, like, Castletown, that's also possible, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case. But it's gonna be a fun video to work on. It's not gonna be anything groundbreaking, but it's just, I like working on like a missing persons case. Kind of like, actually I can show that real quick. I already have some stuff prepared for it. Come on, After Effects. Hold on. Here's some of the stuff I already captured. Some people, some locations. There we go. Come on, After Effects. So yeah, there's like, it starts here. Castletown, Kakariko Village. These are all the people that live in Kakariko Village in the past. So when Link is a kid. And these are all the people in Castletown. Although I did condense it a little bit, so with the exception of the one soldier that turns into the Poe Hunter guy, all the other soldiers, I just grouped them together because they all look the same. You don't know who's who. So I just put them in as one character. And obviously there's going to be some characters that we just don't see, like castle servants, but you know, we don't know these people, we never see them, so we cannot really, I cannot put them in. The only person I did put in as like a silhouette is the king, because the king is, we know he exists, and we know he's at the castle, and he's killed by Ganondorf's army when the castle gets taken over. And then I think all these people move to Kakariko village at some point. And then there's a few, these are all the people that they do disappear, so we don't see them as an adult anywhere, but they all show up at the celebration at the end, the one that I just showed where I removed all the credits. Then there's a few people that we know have confirmation that they died, so obviously the soldiers died, because you can see a few helmets laying in the, like in front of, I think it's Ganon's castle. There's a few like helmets, and we know a lot of the soldiers died. Either died or maybe some of them fled, but I think most of them probably died. The king died, we know that. And the poor pupper, Doggy, he's confirmed to be dead too. Which makes sense. I mean, 7 years after, dogs usually only live to like somewhere between 10 to 15 years. So the good boy is dead too, unfortunately. Because his owner talks about him in the past tense, so he's dead. Which is probably the saddest death of all of them. And then of course we have the characters who we know from the plot where they do end up. We don't see them after the credits. Or, well, except Zelda as an adult, that is, but... And the Poe Hunter guy, so we know where they are. So that leaves all these people. These people are all gone. Sorry if I'm not reading chat. I have it set up for dual screen, my After Effects, so I cannot read chat while I'm looking at After Effects. But I'll close it in a bit. But yeah, these are all the missing people from Castletown that we never see again, and we don't know where they went. Obviously, there's a few old people in there that may have just died from, you know, old age. There's a kid in there, which obviously they would have had to make like a model for them, a grown-up model, which they didn't do, so they just removed them from the plot. So we're supposed to imply that they either fled from the castle or they died in the takeover. And then, of course, there's a few people from, like, we know Dompe is dead. All these people survived. They're all still there. They're either at the celebration at the end, or we just know where they are. We know they're alive. And Dompe is dead. This guy is alive in the future, but he goes missing later, and then he disappears. But that's not during the 7-year time skip, so we know he at least where he disappeared to the Lost Woods. And that leaves us with the two soldiers that are stationed there, the kid's mom, who we never see, but is probably inside the house, and the Graveyard Kid. So that's all the missing people from Ocarina of Time that we never see again. And maybe there's some Zora and Gorons, but again, not to be racist, but they all look the same, so we don't know which one is which and whether they still have the same numbers. We know that the Zora did survive. They disappear for a while and the whole domain freezes over, but at the end you can see a few of them celebrating as well, as do the Gorons. So, but these are the most... the only one I didn't feature is Lord Jabu Jabu, because that's like a completely different theory on its own. That people have been talking about Lord Jabu Jabu and where he disappeared to for such a long time by this point, so, you know, no use retreading old grounds again. Although he probably did survive, because in the Wind Waker there's Jaboon, so, which is probably an ancestor of him. But yeah, that's the stuff I've been working on so far. Not to be a racist, but racist against fictional characters. Oh, shoot. No! Oh, God, did I actually save? Oh, please tell me Oh, no. Do I have to do the whole princess part all over again? Oh no, okay, thank God, I can just go to Kakariko immediately. Ah, I press it's touchscreen, so I accidentally touched the wrong button. But yeah, with the Zoras and Gorons in this game, they didn't do the thing that they did in Breath of the Wild yet, where they make all of them look more distinct. So in this game, you really just don't know who is who, except for Darunia and his kid, probably. Even his kid looks pretty much the same as all the other Gorons. Bongo Bongo was a normal human once? Yeah, probably. Just control C, control V, yeah, exactly. I don't even know, was this part of like a... Is Chapsy just invading? Oh, he is. Get chapped. So I was looking at After Effects, and After Effects doesn't allow me to watch other screens. I've set it up for dual screen, and both get priority over all other screens, so when I have After Effects open, I cannot view all my other stuff, including my chat. You missed my very funny joke. Not sure where all the hundreds of my viewers are, though. Hundreds, Don. Actually, maybe... No, I don't have to talk to Graveyard Kid. Hello, Jessica. Yeah, alles goed. Alles gaat goed met mij. En met jou? The honest Don was at 27. Before we became Charlie. Before we came. Now I'm my concentration is gone now. Thanks, Charlie. Graveyard Boy should have been Impa's son, if Impa asking Link to look out for him. Yeah. Well, I guess he wasn't, because she doesn't mention him ever. Oh wait, I have to go to Kokiri Forest. I could have just gone to Saria right away. I can use this shortcut, probably. I guess, maybe? Actually, I don't know. No, because I gotta open the door first. Oh jeez. Wait, no, I can light the torches. I can light the torches. I always forget the torch. Wait, no, I have to open up the door for that one too, I guess. Right? Yeah, the only torch that burns is inside his... Wait, no, you use Zelda's Lullaby to open it up. Jesus. There we go. Kevin Maddock, I've brought you a Radiant Triforce piece as a gift for your entertainment quest. With this glowing power, may your adventures shine even brighter. Thank you so much, Kevin. That's awesome. Also a great monologue with it. How many sticks do I have left? Sticks burn up so quickly in this game. Yeah! I still think this is the best game of the franchise, hands down. In terms of balance, yeah, I would say probably. There are a few things that I enjoy more. I think the dungeons in Twilight Princess are really, 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 really good. Like, are a natural evolution of these. I don't know, aesthetically I just like them better. But it's a very balanced game for sure. Oh. Yeah, Link to the Past is like 2D and 3D Zelda game. I just cannot compare the two. I just can't. They're so fundamentally different. You might say, well, it's just the perspective is different, but no, it just, a 2D Zelda game just plays completely different. Like, yeah, you have dungeons, yeah, you have your thingamajigs and your weapons, but it just doesn't feel the same. I've never been able to compare the two. It also feels unfair, because the 3D games obviously have more chances for cinematics, more opportunity to do something big and grand, and the 2D games don't really do that. It's not really as easy to do that in a 2D game. You can have a great story, don't get me wrong, but like the 3D cinematography is just on a different level. So I just enjoy them in different ways. I never played this or any N64 or GameCube Zelda. Well, maybe it's time to do that, because they're pretty damn good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just watching, of course. But I can definitely recommend them. With GameCube Zelda, do you also count, like, Twilight Princess, for example? Or did you play that one? Yeah. Great. I don't need your music. And what makes you qualified to express your opinion? Well, I guess I don't. My opinions don't matter. Simply feel like the 3D games in Ocarina... Wait. I simply feel the 3D games in Ocarina lacked dungeon count. Link to the Past 14 dungeons. Yeah, Majora's Mask is obviously... It was made in a year. Cannot really blame it for having 4 dungeons. Plus, the four dungeons that are there are freaking good. Larry the Bokoblin is the only one. It's a shame they didn't really do much with the Bokoblins in Tears of the Kingdom. They could have done something great with them. Something memeable. Wait, why is my shield not working? Oh, there we go. I put it on the other button. Look, I'm playing a 2D Zelda game now. Majora's Mask has the best dungeons, just not enough of them. I do like them a lot, yeah. It's so difficult to compare them, because I do like Twilight Princess dungeons a lot as well. I would say all the... Like, the Wind Waker's probably only one where I feel like the dungeons are a little bit subpar. They're just a little too simple, except for the Wind Temple. Screw the Wind Temple. Although I do love the atmosphere of some of Wind Waker's dungeons. The Forbidden Forest is still one of my favorite forest-themed dungeons. There's just something about it. Enjoy streaming, mister. Talk to you soon. Yeah, you just come on over next weekend or something. We go walk the dogs together. And gossip. Who's Larry? I don't know, man. Okay, that one's not too difficult either. Like, my buttons are mapped really, really weirdly. Because I also have to account for the touchscreen, so I mapped some of the touch elements, like the ocarina, to the D-pad as well. See ya, Dragon Gamer. Thanks for stopping by. Always nice. Always welcome. There's no saving the princess in Majora's Mask. No, there isn't. You just save the whole world. I think that should suffice, probably. Larry the hero. I actually thought there was gonna be a moblin around the corner. That doesn't happen until you're an adult. But still, I'm anxious to walk these corridors. It's actually funny because when you're a kid, when you walk these corridors, it kind of goes into a 2D, like top-down view. But when you're an adult, it doesn't do that. It purposely makes it really claustrophobic. Which I get what they were going for, but the camera is not really equipped to deal with those tight corners. Oh, just go away. I know. No! Wait, I came from here, so it's this way. No? This one? Oh, that's not where I was supposed to be. Now I'm heading in the right direction. I do have to take a small bathroom break in a moment, so before we go into the Dodongo's Cavern, I will take a very quick bathroom break, because I am getting ready to explode. And we don't want that to happen now, do we? You gonna play Echoes? Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. What was it again? There we go. No bathroom break allowed. I'm just supposed to sit here and suffer. I still need to pre-order Echoes. I don't pre-order. I don't. The only thing I pre-order are things that are gonna be limited edition, like Masterworks, for example. I did pre-order Masterworks, the Japanese version. But generally, I never pre-order anything. Because I don't really... I've never run into the problem where something is completely sold out. Especially a Zelda game, like, they're so stuffed. Like, the shelves are always full of Zelda games. I have never, ever had any situation where I went to the store and they're like, oh no, we've just run out of Zelda. He's going off on that song. Well, it is a great song, though. I would probably do the same if I could dance. Alright, we're gonna open up the cave, and then I'm gonna quickly hit pause, and we'll continue in like a few minutes. Also grab a snack, because we still have 2 child dungeons left to go. variety of music in the game is absolutely insane. I agree. It would have been so easy for them to just repeat a lot of the same songs, but they just went all out. The Dongus Cavern was the first thing I learned to skip my way into as a kid. Backflipped over the top and glitched into the boulder. Ah! If I knew that, I would have just done that, because I'm not playing for the skills this time. I'm just playing. Well, I've never played for the skills because I suck at gaming, but you know what I mean. I'm just trying to get. I'm just trying to be done, so I can capture footage. I do know you can cheese this heart piece because you're actually supposed to get this one with the magic beans. Magic beans, I think. You're supposed to plant them here, I think. No, or wait. Yeah. Plant them here, and then as an adult, you can go up there. Pro gamer. Oh, I gotta get rid of these ugly, like mini maps, because it doesn't really do anything for me. All the other HUD elements are on the screen. I don't understand why they didn't put the option in to hide the minimap. I checked, there is no option, so that's why I used that whole texture trick to get rid of it. But yeah, I will be back in like a few minutes. I'll just pause it right here, and then we're gonna do. You could, by the way, you could hide it on the N64 version. I just remembered, but you cannot do it on this version for some weird reason. But yeah, anyway, I will be back in like 4 minutes or so. So you just talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Alright, where's my second screen? Let me check. Alright. Minish Cap. MC is Minish Cap, probably. Hello, Spirit Link. I know who you are. It's crazy how many of my viewers I've come to recognize, you know? Where it's like, oh yeah, I know you, I remember this and this. Like... familiar faces. And of course Black Lynx is among those two. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Ooh, this texture is pretty crisp. Although I think they just used a picture of some rocks. It looks a little too realistic. Also has shadows on it, so there's no normal map present. Got baked in shadows. From a distance it looks pretty cool. But up close it's a little too realistic for the game. Also the explosion looks horrible. I don't know what they did with the explosion, but this looks weird. Alright, John. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here. Ah! Good to hear, Black Lynx. Good to hear. At least he remembers you. I'm just a slave to his stupid friend Charlie. No, I know who you are. I definitely know who you are. I know all of Charlie's chaps. Come on, stop walking. Ow. Yeah, that's right. Run! Actually, after this fight I have a little story to tell, which is pretty funny. But I cannot do two things at the same time. I'm horrible at that. Wow, that went right through my guard. It is indeed the 3DS remake. I think it looks pretty okay. Some textures are a little eh. Fire looks horrible, that's for sure. I think I missed one torch. Or maybe not. I was being a bit dramatic, I know. It's okay. You can be dramatic here. You can be yourself. I don't think I've ever banned someone from my stream aside from spam bots, but even people who were being a little hostile, I usually don't ban them. There was one guy who was being like overly hostile even to the rest of the audience watching, but that was near the end of my stream, so be the drama queen. Wrong choice of words? What did I say? Yeah, while I was installing this texture pack, like there's an option in the emulator where you can upscale, or not upscale, but like you can apply a filter to the textures, smooth them out a little bit, because on the 3DS they're very pixelated, but because the screen is so small you don't really notice. But if you apply a filter to it, I discovered when you do that, and you have this texture pack installed, something goes wrong. I don't know why, like some value gets changed somewhere, and all the textures get mapped wrongly. Like, I don't know what happened, but suddenly all the textures were all jumbled up and they were mapped incorrectly. And for some reason, Link's face texture, like the texture that's on his face, was everywhere. On trees, on walls. It was really, really creepy, actually. I wish I saved a screenshot or just recorded some of it, but it was so damn creepy. It was straight out of like a creepypasta. Just Link's face everywhere. On, like, instead of trees, it was like some weird texture, and then like instead of the leaves, every leaf was Link's face. All the walls had like Link's face everywhere. The floor, some enemies. Like, it was the craziest thing. Just everywhere you looked, you saw Link's face staring at you. Oh, it was... Oh no, my shield! You bastard! Now I gotta buy a new shield. We can actually... Oh wait, that's the wrong door. We can actually test it to see if it happens again. I can just apply that filter again, see if it does the same thing. Although I am a little bit afraid, I probably will back up my my texture pack real quick before we do that, because I don't want to lose all the stuff I did. If I lose all those HUD element and credits and all that stuff I made transparent. But yeah, I was standing in Hyrule Field, I was like, something went horribly wrong here. Yeah, it's kind of like, I could use that for a Halloween creepypasta type of video, like a Ben Drowned equivalent or something. I think it's just money, right? Yeah. I already have max rupees, so that's a waste. The point is to frustrate the hell out of you, Rowensky. That's the point of it. Like in the old games with the likes, they steal your shield that you invested like more than $100 in, and money is like super scarce in that game too, so it really sucks. I gotta fight these guys without a shield, that's great, that's just fantastic. Ow. Yeah, what's up? Actually, I'll stand here as more ground. There we go. Only have 2 hearts left though, I hope I can make it. Oh no, okay. And we're full on hearts again. See, no pause screen, I didn't have to eat food. Look how quick that was. I swear, if the next Zelda game has the whole food mechanic again, I'm gonna lose it. It's so inefficient. I like the idea behind it, but it just doesn't work as a gameplay aspect. They should only like use it for buffs and debuffs. It's probably one of my biggest gameplay gripes. of the newer games. Hello, Benoon. How are you? Did you enjoy your little back and forth with HMK? I saw you guys arguing on Twitter. I was like, oh no. Not this again. Let me quickly map my bombs. I hate seeing two people I know personally argue on social media. It's the worst. Because I don't want to take sides, but I am the type of person who will... It doesn't matter if I know you. If you say something that's wrong, I will correct you on it. I don't take sides based on friendship. Which I guess some people sometimes will see as like, oh, why are you doing this? I thought we were friends. It's like, yeah, we are, but I just don't agree with you and I think you should be called out for it. But in this case, I did agree with the... there are no writing credits for Tears of the Kingdom. That's what the discussion was about. It wasn't even about the writing itself or the story. It was just the fact that there was no one is credited for the actual script writing, which is a bit odd. I think HMK was making the argument that there were, and he was pointing to the script supervisor, but the script supervisor doesn't write the script. The script supervisor doesn't come into play after production starts. They're kind of just like a representative who keeps track of all the script stuff and if the continuity is still okay, but they don't actually write themselves. That's the writer's job, or sometimes the producer. Which in this case is Fujibayashi, so maybe he just wrote the script, that's possible. Although I doubt it, because he has a lot on his plate as producer. Or no, sorry, he was the director. Eiji Onuma was the producer, but I highly doubt he wrote the script, because he doesn't care about lore at all. He's not that guy. He is solely focused on gameplay, even more so than Miyamoto was. Miyamoto is very gameplay focused as well, but he at least did care about story. And Aonuma just doesn't, which is fine. I mean, it is... You need people like that too, who focus more on the gameplay, because it is a game at the end of the day. I don't want Zelda to turn into an interactive movie. Gameplays will always be king, but... There was no scenario writer. No, as far as I know, there's no one credited for it, at least. I think there was in Breath of the Wild, but in Tears of the Kingdom's credits, for some reason, there's no credit given to a specific person as, like, this person wrote the script, or anything like that. So I guess maybe it was someone who was doing, like, double duty. Someone who did something plus something. Like I said, producer can also be the writer. I want Koizumi back on the team so badly. Koizumi, all my favorite Zelda stories are a product of his mind. Link's Awakening, Majora's Mask. I think he did, I think there's another one he did. Why am I running? I should have thrown a bomb in his face. I mean, like Zelda games. I didn't even know he wrote Mario Galaxy, to be honest. Ah! Jeez. I should pay more attention. I never get hit by this boss, ever. He's like the easiest boss ever. There we go. GG's. Thank you for dropping by, the giant tree. That's a good name. That's a good username. Yeah, Koizumi did do Link's Awakening, but maybe I'm just misremembering. I thought he did 3 different Zelda games. Majora's Mask, Link's Awakening, and something else. Oh yeah, this boss was very intimidating as a kid. Seeing him for the first time. Especially in the beginning when he appears and you see it from his perspective, like first person perspective. Very, very effective. And that rhymes. He did the lore for A Link to the Past too, no? Maybe he co-wrote it? I know Tezuka did a lot of the older Zelda games, like up until A Link to the Past, I believe. But maybe he was involved. Make dungeon ideas from fans part 2. If a new Zelda game gets announced, a new 3D Zelda game, I will. Well, Zelda 1, it was just, it was the first Zelda game, so there's... I don't blame them for not having the lore completely written out yet for a big, continuous universe. Look at those beautiful purple eyes, yeah. I think they just 3D upscaled those, like, or 4K upscaled it. Using AI. One more dungeon to go. Yeah, I think they AI upscaled all the faces because they look a little too smooth to be done by brush. Maybe I'm wrong. But they definitely did not, like, hand make all these 4K textures. Some of them are pictures. Some of them are just the original texture upscaled with AI. You know. Some do seem to be brushed. There's a few textures that are really good. But I think it was made by one guy, so I don't blame them. Like, there are so many textures in this game. Like, this for sure looks brushed. I think this was custom, like hand-drawn or something. Or this stuff too. Yeah, it is the 3DS remake, just with a HD texture pack on it. Yeah, it is impressive. It always baffles me how much effort Zelda fans will do. Well, how much effort they will put into just making the games better or making, like, doing something fan-made, whatever. Even making their own games, although Nintendo will shut them down if they do. Which is a bit of a shame, but you know, that's Nintendo's gonna Nintendo. They want you to have fun, but only in the way they dictate it. Now I have a bomb stuck to my chest. Yeah, Ship of Arcanian is very impressive as well. Great stuff. Just the commitment of the Zelda fanbase is just out of this world. I love it. It's probably my favorite fanbase. It's not perfect. There are a few rotten apples in there, but I mean that's with every single fanbase out there. But for a fanbase that's this big, it's surprisingly welcoming and cool, and there's so many awesome people. Like usually you only find that with more niche titles, niche franchises. But the bigger a fan base becomes and the more widely it appeals to people, the more toxic it becomes. A lot of people say that about the Pokemon fan base. I wouldn't know because I don't really engage with them. I'm not a Pokemon guy. Last Pokemon game I played was like Pokemon Red. What was it again? There we go. Legend of Zelda is one of those lucky IPs, yeah. Yeah, it's an HD texture pack. All for the purpose of capturing footage. I just like it when my footage looks good. The only time I will use like the old textures is when I use no clip, because there's just certain angles, certain camera angles that you just cannot achieve in the game. Because as far as I know, there's no free cam for either this version or Ship of Arcanian or any other version of Ocarina of Time. Which is unfortunate because I would love to have a free cam, just have full control over the camera. In Zelda you can speculate more and people are more open to speculation. Yeah, it's kind of part of being a Zelda fan, I guess. We've always had to make up our own lore, we had to make up our own stories. How is this guy still in business? I think I've asked this before. But you pay him 20 bucks, and then he throws in 25, and it's very easy to get them all. And I think the second time you do this minigame, he throws even more rupees in there. Like he's always running on, like he always makes a loss on on his prices. He's not a good businessman. Not a good business model. He sells your data. Oh yeah, that I guess that makes sense. The Hyrule Internet Police. We basically had to create the story ourselves. Yeah, exactly. I am 100% convinced that if we never pushed so much for a timeline and all that kind of stuff, Nintendo wouldn't have put the effort into it. Like, at all. Like, some people say, well, yeah, you know, back in old interviews they used to sometimes say, like, oh, this game takes place after that game. It's like, yeah, okay, they did, but I'm pretty sure they didn't have this whole timeline split big universe in mind from the beginning. At least not to the degree of consistency that we are opting for. Because fans have an unlimited amount of time, so we can analyze every single detail of every single story. The developers don't have time for that. By the time they wrap up a project, they have to go, you know, to the next project. Let me see. I just do this? Yeah. Oh, you guys cannot see my second screen, but I'm messing around with the inventory all the time. And some parts of it are touch, so I have to do this weird little thing where you have to use the mouse. There we go. Well, Metroid has a... I would prefer if Zelda had a timeline like Metroid, for sure. If I had to choose, I would prefer to have a timeline like that, because it's consistent. As far as I know. Right? Metroid has a consistent timeline, right? Like, all the games just fit together. There's not that many retcons. I think only the first Metroid Prime, they kind of rewrote some of the Chozo history to make it more consistent with the later games, but... I mean, the fact that they did that already shows that they care, or else they wouldn't have changed that. What is my opinion on the convergence theory? Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom are in a new timeline where the other three converged after Ganondorf died. I'm starting to lean more and more towards the idea that Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are just their own separate reality. And they have nothing to do with the older games. Like, yeah, there's references to the older games in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom a little bit here and there. But I think at this point we can just say either they are Easter eggs or it's just, you know, like a reference and nothing more. Oh, I gotta catch a fish. Because the more I read Masterworks, the more I start to realize, even, like, I don't know if you guys know that, but the Sheikah eye symbol has always had like a backstory to it. Like how it came to be, like why they chose that symbol for their tribe. Which I think that's something to do with like the suffering that they had to endure in order to protect the royal family or something, or the horrible stuff they had to do in name of the royal family. That's where the eye drop and the tear, or the teardrop from the eye comes from. But now in Masterworks they say that the Sheikah eye symbol most likely is derived from the Zonai, their third eye. It's like, well, that just doesn't fit anymore. And there's so many more examples in Masterworks where it just feels like they're just rewriting the whole history of Zelda, basically. So we are basically left with two choices. Either we accept that there's a huge amount of retcons, or we just accept that it's a new timeline or a new reality, like, you know, it's just universe B where things happen differently, and instead of the Triforce, the three golden goddesses made the secret stones, which I am fine with if that's the case, because then we just have its own little thing. We don't have to worry about the old timeline anymore. When a game comes out like Echoes of Wisdom, which seems to take place in the old Zelda timeline, then they still have that option. They can still release a game that fits in the original timeline, but they can also release games that are just completely disconnected. And, you know, maybe it's just better if Breath of the Wild and Tears are just unrelated to the original timeline. And it's just, you know, like the multiverse, the many worlds theory. It's just an alternate reality where things panned out differently. Honestly, I would be more okay with that than somehow trying to make it fit into the old timeline, because like I said, the more I read about what they had in mind, the more I feel like, yeah, it just doesn't fit anymore. Do you have any concerns for Echoes of Wisdom? I had my concerns about the combat, but now that we have the sword fighting option, that concern has pretty much been taken away. Oh right, I don't have a shield anymore. Oh no, and I don't think I have any Deku nuts either. Do I have nuts? Yeah, I do have nuts. I think I just have to... Wait, if I just stand here, they will stay there, right? Yeah, they'll stay gone. Do I have nuts? Sometimes you just say something and you don't even realize what you're saying is kind of suggestive. Hold down. I'll hold down for 3 seconds on the D-pad to shut it off. Yeah, well, the problem is I've mapped my touchscreen to the D-pad. So the ocarina, the 2 other face buttons, the touch buttons, because I don't want to use those every time I need to use an item, so I just map them to my D-pad. So that's not an option anymore. Well, let's talk to Ruto. Yeah, a dungeon inside a fish is awesome. You got the beans. Me, Breath of the Wild is the far future from the original timeline. Well, the problem with that is in Masterworks they have a new kind of timeline, and it just doesn't really fit. Because suddenly the Zonai are like the ancient ancestors of the Hylians, which does not fit with the original timeline at all. Because the Sky Loftians were kind of like the precursor of the Hylians, and before that you had the Sheikah mining with those robots on the surface, and the Triforce is never mentioned anywhere in Masterworks as far as I've been able to find so far. It's all about the secret stones now. Oh hey, Dreamweaver. Yeah, I don't have a consistent schedule when it comes to live streams. And again, I want to emphasize, by the way, I'm not complaining about the fact that it doesn't fit. Because I already said that on Twitter as well. I would be okay with it if it's just a different continuity, a different universe. Because the Zelda timeline already kind of operates on the whole multiverse idea. Because the whole Fallen timeline, the Downfall timeline, is already kind of a what-if scenario where it just branches. It's not because of time travel that timeline branch was created. It's created because Link could potentially die in Ocarina of Time. And it's like, well, he could potentially die in every Zelda game, so... Technically, there should be infinite possibilities, infinite universes where things happen differently. So, yeah. I guess we could consider Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they just take place in a universe where things happen differently. And it has a new history. Because it even talks about how the Hylians were like primitive people living on the surface, and then the Zonai came down, and... I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain it now here, and I cannot show it because Nintendo has been kind of hunting people who are sharing stuff about Masterworks, at least visually. There's a couple of Twitter accounts that have been banned, I think, or at least locked. Sorry, my voice is starting to go. But I might make a video about it. In fact, I probably will do a video about it. But in that case, I would prefer if we just say, yeah, different universe, different like continuity. Let's be done with it. I would have gone for a convergence under different circumstances. But now that I've seen the whole timeline that they, or the whole idea that they try to sketch in Masterworks, I'm like, we would have to rewrite so much of Zelda's history. We would have to deal with so many retcons. Wouldn't it just be easier if we said, alright, it's something, it stands on its own? There's no harm in that either, because there's other franchises who do something similar. Like, I think Dragon Quest has like 2 different timelines that are unrelated to each other. And I'm pretty sure there's different franchises I could name that have the same inner workings in terms of continuity. Wait. Oh, I took the wrong turn. Wait, where did she go? She always waits for you, right? Wait, what? Is it because... Oh wait, this is the switch that you're supposed to put her on. Did she just disappear? Oh, that would suck. Did she go back to the lower levels? Oh no, okay, she's here. Oh, thank God. I took the wrong side. I think you're supposed to go to... No, you are supposed to go to this one first. I think this is where you get the boomerang. Why am I suddenly blanking on this game? It's really weird. Come on. Show yourself. Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Mana series, all of them have different storylines. Or yeah, like Final Fantasy actually has, like, each adventure is a new adventure, except when it's a direct sequel, of course, like Final Fantasy X-2 and 13-2. But like Dragon Quest, for example, has like a whole series of games that all fit into one timeline, and then there's just another series of games that they just don't fit with the other one, so they just say, okay, it's a completely different universe, different continuity. Which I think would work for Zelda as well. To an extent, it already is the case. Because there's no reason for the fallen timeline, the downfall timeline to exist. Why does Ocarina of Time get a special treatment where Link could potentially be defeated by Ganondorf at the end? It's like, yeah, that can happen in every Zelda game, right? So every Zelda game should have another reality that's like branches off from that. Like, it would just get so messy if we try to connect it, but I'm not going to stop people from doing it. Like, if you watch Dark Matter, which is a series on, I believe, Apple TV, like that story kind of follows what I'm trying to convey here. Where it's like every time a big decision is made, or every time something significant happens, there's multiple outcomes, and two universes are created. One in which one scenario happened and one in which the other happened, which is what the downfall timeline is. So it already follows the many worlds interpretation. Like, for example, what if Link died in Skyward Sword? Like, he fails to defeat Demise, he dies. A completely different universe should technically be created at that moment. Sonia and Rauru transforming Zelda back into a human form, but not caring to do the same for the other dragons who've been imprisoned, is unserious. Well, they do explain that, by the way, in the book. Like, the other dragons, they've been given an immortal life to watch over the springs, like the springs of power, spring of courage, and all that stuff. So they are there for a purpose. In fact, I believe they imply that it was Hylia who instructed them to watch over the springs for all eternity. And they also explain why Zelda transforms back. Like, it's actually due to kind of like time travel. Like, it's not just friendship sprinkles that they throw on her and suddenly she's fine again. Like, I believe they explain that they rewind her back to when before she was a dragon. So it's like localized time travel. Which is, I think I'm satisfied with that explanation. I don't know about you, but I think that's fine. Because it does feel a bit like that, right? But like, when you don't have that explanation, it's like, oh, at the end, even though they said, like, once you become a dragon, that's forever and you lose yourself, and then suddenly at the end, they just all do the power of friendship, and then she transforms back either way. But they do explain how that works. In fact, they also explain that when you talk to the sages, to the dead, because they're technically dead, right? Because they lived like, I don't know, tens of thousands of years ago. That's also actually like localized time travel as well. You're basically talking to a recording almost. Well, not a recording, but you're talking to them in the past. It even says specifically that that room where you are when they do the Secret Stone, Demon King, you know, when they do that thing, that room you're in, that foggy room, it's not the afterlife where it's like a time bubble. At least that's what the book says. Again, which I think is a perfectly fine explanation. Even in this game, Zelda kind of makes a recording where she talks to you. Well, after she leaves the Ocarina of Time, she kind of has a message imprinted on it, and you can talk to her like a past version of her. So she always had that power to do that kind of stuff. Like the Hero Shade, yeah, I guess. Well, the Hero Shade, though, I think he is supposed to be like in the afterlife in a way, but I'm not sure. Because that area where you're in, that I think it's called the Ghostly Ether, which I interpret as some sort of afterworld or underworld or ghost dimension. But that room you're in Tears of the Kingdom, when you talk to the sage, they specifically say that it's not the afterlife. You're in like a time bubble which allows you to speak to them when they were still alive. So they're speaking to you from the past, which I think is pretty cool. Well, that's fine, TM2. I mean, you don't have to accept anything, because at the end of the day, your own headcanon is, you know, that trumps everything else. Zelda has always been more of a personal experience, so The day we start dictating to people what they should think about the lore or which lore they should follow, that's the day I quit being a Zelda tuber, because that's not what I want. I don't want Zelda to become like this authoritarian thing where, like with the Lord of the Rings books, for example. I love Lord of the Rings, but I would never be able to be a Lord of the Rings creator, because if you don't follow the books, if you misinterpret the books in any way, you're like stepping on holy like ground almost, and I hate that. Same with Star Wars. If you do anything that isn't established in the canon, or if you try to change anything about the canon, or even suggest a change to the canon, you just get crucified. Just look at how much backlash they got for the sequel trilogy. And I don't mean the quality of the films themselves, but just inventing a new force power. It's like, no, that's not how the force works. That you cannot just do. It's like, why not? I mean, they made up the force powers back when the old movies were made, and they continue to expand on that with every sequel, so why can we not do the same with the newer movies? I'm not really a fan of the new Star Wars all that much, except one. I forgot the name. Shoot. Why did I forget the name? Like, there's only one of the new series that I really, really like. Andor, I think it was. Yeah, Andor is... I love Andor. But aside from that, I don't really like Disney Star Wars all that much. But the complaints about inventing new lore and stuff, I'm like, well, they've always done that. Why is that suddenly such a big problem? Yeah, I don't want fans to become a gateway when it comes to Zelda. Zelda has always been so interpretive. Like, even though Majora's Mask, like the whole theory where Link is dead, even though we can probably prove that that's probably not true, I still like the theory. No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. Exactly, and I don't want Zelda fans to become like that. Ever. Actually, I'm gonna really quickly turn Z targeting to toggle. Yeah, okay. L targeting. Thank God this game has autosave. The original doesn't have that. Neither does Twilight Princess. There's been times where I shut down the stream without saving, not realizing that I had to do everything all over again. I'm sure maybe some of you were there when that happened. Show the weird texture. Yeah, I will at the end. I will back up my texture pack, and then I'll turn on one of those filters and we'll see what happens. I might have to restart the game to make it work, because I think a lot of textures are preloaded, so it might not work without restarting it, but we'll see. Do you have a big wish for a Zelda game? One of mine would be Zelda 1 in 3D, but with traditional mechanisms, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask format. I just want Zelda games with big, complex dungeons again, and a really gripping story. That's all I really want. I cannot really predict what I want, because every time I think I know what I want, like the art of video game development is that you give people like, at least to an extent, you give people something they didn't know they wanted, and that's what Nintendo has always been good at. Is giving us something that we didn't know that we wanted. Because if you only give people what they want, then they're not going to experience anything new. Ow! I don't really care much for remakes, except when it's like like a light remake for like a glorified port for a new system. Ah. Like if they just have someone else do it, like Grezzo or Tantalus, then I'm fine with it. But I would prefer if they just focus on making new games. I really don't care much for remakes. Most Zelda games, even the most primitive ones, I can still enjoy. Like even Zelda 1 I can still enjoy. Or the Oracle games. I think there's a certain charm to their visual style. Hup, 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 hup. Although I do have to say, like, well, actually that's a good example. Skyward Sword HD was, for me, was a perfect release. Because I hated Skyward Sword when it first came out. I don't like the motion controls. That's just how I am. I don't like having to move and flail my arms around. So having the option to play with buttons was great. That was just, it really changed my mind on Skyward Sword on so many levels. The fact that they toned down Fi a little bit, that they made some of her stuff more optional, but they didn't really have to do much besides that. It's just Skyward Sword with, you know, running at 60 and with slightly more crisp HD graphics compared to the original. And that for me, that's enough. Where's my heart piece at? Did I already get it? I think I did, right? I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I think I picked it up already. Oh yeah, of course I can check my hearts. My other screen. Oh, thanks, Black Links, for the confirmation. Yeah, they did tone down some of the blood. Also the bottom of the well doesn't look nearly as gross and horror-esque as it did in the original. I don't like every change in Ocarina of Time for sure. The 3D version. Ruski says, I don't want to get into console wars, but I think the fact that no Nintendo games are on PC really hurts a lot of their series. Having to either track down OG hardware or wait for a remake kind of stinks. Well, that's why we have emulators, yo. We'll do it ourselves. But I think there's also it can also damage your platform if everything is... Because I don't buy an Xbox. I will never buy an Xbox because practically every Xbox game is on PC. Why would I invest in an Xbox? Same with PlayStation. A lot of PlayStation games also have a PC version. Maybe not always right away. Sometimes you have to wait for like a year. Yeah, this is captured on my 3DS. Yeah. You cannot see my expression, but I'm doing the eye pull. So I think the fact that their games are not like widely accessible on Steam, for example, does also benefit Nintendo to a degree. But I do think at some point when a game is old enough, they should just make it available for people to play on PC without all the fear of getting a strike or... You know, because I mean, this game is 25 years old, man. There comes a point where you just have to be like... Even movies become public domain after a while, and there's a reason for that. You cannot hold on greedily to your stuff forever. Like, I see that mentality so much more with comedians, for example. Comedians, after their show, they've... like, obviously in the beginning, they want to keep their show, like, they want to push you to go see them live. But after a while... When they've done their thing, they've earned their money, they've done all their live shows, they've sold some DVDs, or like streams or whatever the hell. At some point, a lot of comedians just slap their work on YouTube. They're just like, all right, I've made my money, now it's time for people to just be able to enjoy it. And I can really respect that. And Nintendo is the opposite of that. Their games will always ask the full price until the end of time. And they will not make it available unless they say so. They want to have full control over how we experience their games, and I really dislike that. Because as soon as something's out there, when a piece of media exists, it kind of becomes... Well, I wouldn't say I have ownership over it, but it does become like a part of everyone, you know? Everyone kind of gets a piece of it. Because without the audience, the game wouldn't exist. So we have a certain degree of ownership or power over it as well. Hey, Hungry Apples. PM2 says, reminds me of a meme I saw. Archaeologist in 2020... 2200 finding like Donkey Kong Country Returns. Nintendo, that'll be $60. Yeah, that's how I imagine it would probably go. Oh, gotta hit record. Just in time. Whew. I hope the textures are good on some of the effects. This would be a good point to actually back up my saves. Because now I do have a save file right before this part. Maybe I think I probably should, because I do believe this game has an autosave, so it could screw me over. Ah, Ganondorf's armor looks horrible. I'm probably not going to use this version. It really did not do a good job on Ganondorf. Which is a shame, because they did such a good job on Link. Look at all the details on his little belt and his outfit. Netweed says, I won't deny it, I love that about Nintendo. They keep things like a code, like we are the cornerstones of quality gaming. And I like that. And I like that look at what happened to the Halo series. It died. I think there's a balance to be found there. Like, after a game reaches a certain age, I do feel like we should be able to mess with it a little bit. Just look at how amazing Ship of Arcanian turned out to be. It is the best way, by a mile, to play the original. Because you have so much control over everything you do. The HUD, the graphics, the sound. Playing this game without the N64 graphics just screws with my mind, or screws my mind up. Yeah, it is. You do have to get used to it. Let's see. I don't want to save just yet, just in case I want to re-record this part. Yeah, I should probably back up my saves. Because I do believe... Wait, I want to see what happens if I choose don't save. Maybe it only saves after significant events, not just randomly, like in Breath of the Wild. Don't save. Wait. Let's see where it starts me. Gotta stop the recording too. It does autosave sometimes, but I think only when you do certain story quests, or because I forgot to save before and I accidentally quit the game and I still had Zelda's letter. Even though I hadn't saved the game manually for like until after the Deku Tree, I think. So it has some form of autosave. Oh no, wait. Oh no, well, actually I already have it recorded, so that's fine. Let's see if I can make the textures go nuts. I'll quickly go to Hyrule Field for a moment. Now I should save. Save. Quit. Let's see if I can make it go nuts. Emulation, configure. Like there's these graphics options here. I think it's this one, like linear filtering. I think if you put it to like bicubic or scale force, any of those, the graphics just go nuts. Let's see if it does it this time. Well, I can already see the moon is screwed up. Yeah, I'll just take my own well, that doesn't look very promising. Okay. I want to see Link's face everywhere. Let's see if I can get that one again. Oh no. We have a black pillar over here. That doesn't look good. I think Link's face is fine though. I have the footage I need anyway. So that's the texture that's on pots. I don't know. Oh, that's Link's belt. That's so that's his tunic. Let's see if Link's face is everywhere like last time. Whoa. Not yet. Oh yeah, it is. Look. Well, it was way worse on my version last time though. Like all the walls were Link's face too. Now it's only trees. I don't even think that's Link's eyes, to be honest. Link has a closed eye on his tunic as well. See that? Oh boy. Oh, look at all the letters. The Legend of. Yeah, that's weird. His pants are eyes. Yeah, exactly. No, the eyes don't blink, it seems. I don't know why this happens, because the only thing Scale Force does is just... It just changes the filtering on the textures. But for some reason it screws with the mapping itself. Like it just assigns the wrong textures. It's probably gonna get worse as we play. I see nothing wrong. I see what you did there. Yeah, the moon looks fine. Drawbridge looks fine. Oh, I see Link's face. There it is. He's watching you everywhere. It would be funny if the moon was just one giant Link face. In my version, Link's face was also a different texture. I don't remember what it was. Oh, more Link faces over there. Let's check out the market. Why is the day and night cycle? Oh, there's it's on the roofs. Oh my god. Link's face on her dress. Why is it always Link's face everywhere? These guys are not supposed to have black outfits. Oh my. Something is definitely wrong. This looks... Oh wait, no, the trees are Link tunics. Oh look, Link's face is weird now too. Looks like he's wearing a mask. Yeah, this filter really makes a lot of things look weird. And it changes too. Look, now everything is different again. That is so weird. Let me change it back real quick. I do think I have to quit the emulation to make that work. Yeah. Now it's still screwed up. Maybe if I exit and enter. No. I think I just have to restart. The bullseye was Link's eye last time. Oh my. That's the Hylian shield? Oh no, that's the royal family's crest. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to, Why? Oh, okay. Oh no, the menu is all screwed up too. Can I actually... Yeah, okay. Oh no, I really have to restart the whole thing. But yeah, that's what happens when you do that. I don't know why. The pause being his belt, yeah. As one of the more prominent Zelda YouTubers, do you have any concerns that Nintendo will discover you emulating the game and send a cease and desist? Wow, if they send a cease and desist, then I will just cease and desist. And I will just not stream the games anymore. I mean, I only do it because I want to capture good quality footage. That's literally the only reason. I've played the game like a million times, like Ocarina of Time. I've played it a million times. I have it on every system I've ever owned. At least one that has a port of it. So, you know, if that happens, then so be it. But they would have to take down a lot of people if they did, because Zeltic uses emulation on his videos too. And you can see that. If you don't, then your quality is not gonna... Your quality is gonna suffer. If you only use like the raw version of Tears of the Kingdom, for example, just the way it is on the Switch, it's not gonna look... Your video is not gonna look as good. And, you know, that's kind of like a thing with Zelda YouTubers. They all want to have the standards are way higher now than they used to be. You used to be able to get away with just only showing like really low res gameplay footage. But nowadays, everybody is using free cams and, you know, It's just for content. It's just for making content. So we're not harming anyone doing that. I do think Nintendo has an issue with emulators, yeah. Unless it's an emulator that they use, of course. But I think they have bigger fish to fry. Like actual people who are pirating the game for no reason, or people who hack, like leakers, people who hack the system and leak the game like weeks before release. That's the kind of people that they care about the most. I don't think they're going to care about some lore YouTuber. Because in the grand scheme of things, like, I don't even have 200k subs. I'm not that big. I'm just a guy making silly videos about the lore. And I just really care about quality, the quality of my videos. So I try to minimize HUD elements. I try to, have high resolution as possible. If possible, I also want free cam. So I want to be able to choose my own camera angles. And it does help. It does make the videos more immersive. And in a way, it also kind of helps get people into the games. So it's free advertisement in a way. Like Yuzu, for example, like Zan says, Yuzu died for flaunting. Like they were actively trying to become bigger, and they were getting a lot of Patreon donations, and they just became too big and too much of a target. It also didn't help that Steam Deck was advertised with Yuzu on it, and I'm sure that was like a thorn in their side as well. But I think some random Zelda YouTuber, I don't think they care that much. So, if I had to choose between take that risk and make sure that my videos are more high quality and get a cease and desist, I will take that risk. I will gladly take that risk. Ruski says, I still can't believe that Nintendo included the Pro HUD in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, they usually don't like giving options like that. That is absolutely true, yeah. It was way easier to make Tears of the Kingdom videos from the original game than it is with other games. Because you could pan the camera in a way that makes Link disappear and all that stuff. Yeah, that's true. If they do send us a cease and desist, I could frame it and claim like, hey, at least I'm big enough to draw their attention. But like I said, I really don't expect that. If they really were keen on doing that, they would have taken down so many Zelda tubers at this point, because most of them use emulated footage. Unless like the whole content is about that, like what's his name, Point Crow. Like Point Crow was all about the crazy hacks and the crazy mods and all that stuff. Like, yeah, that's gonna draw attention. I'm not saying I agree with Nintendo messing with him, because I think his content was awesome, and it's a shame that he cannot really do that anymore now. But I do understand why he was targeted, because he was, first of all, he was way bigger than most of us. He was getting huge as a creator, and he just it was all about the mods with him, or for the most part anyway. Oh, see you later, Spirit Link. Sorry, I didn't notice until now. And you too, Black Links. Have a good night, I guess, if you're in the same time zone as me. But yeah, have a good one. Let me see. I think I got everything now. think this is no clip that I used. Yeah. No clip is amazing for, but look at the difference in textures already. You can immediately see how much more pixelated they are compared to the HD texture pack. But I think I recorded this footage to show that they only use adult models for characters that matter, that have any relevance to the main plot. So that's probably why this little girl you see here in the background didn't show up 7 years later, because they would have to make a model that's older. And that's probably effort that they didn't want to put into it. The character models here look a lot better than Ocarina of Time 3D. Well, this is Ocarina of Time 3D. This is just a no clips version of it. But it is Ocarina of Time 3D's engine. I think, yeah. You actually don't see, like, the map just abruptly stops here. You're not supposed to see that. But there's no other way to capture her. I think I did Jabu Jabu as well. Oh, here I was using the moon jump. Find a good camera angle. Yeah. Always funny watching my own recordings. It was him selling the mod via Discord membership, which is what caused the problem for him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, he definitely put himself on the map with that one, for sure. Yeah, I guess the rule as a Zelda tuber is don't become too big. Don't draw too much attention to yourself, except to the Zelda fans, the Zelda fan community. I mean, like, for example, my life as a Bokoblin video, which is by far my biggest video, which I think is still on its way to 4 million at this point. Probably not, like 3.5, something like that. 3.5 million, which is an insane amount of views. At least for me, it is. Someone at Nintendo somewhere probably saw that, right? Maybe. At least maybe from one of the Nintendo's, like, subsidiaries, like Nintendo of Europe or whatever. Someone who works at Nintendo somewhere might have seen it. And it's pretty damn clear that it was made with mods. But it doesn't talk about the mods. The video is not about mods. It was just a thing that I used to make the video possible. But I didn't actually tell you how to install mods and all that kind of stuff. So I think, based on that, I think they will leave you alone most of the time. I'm just so happy I started doing YouTube after the Nintendo Partner Program. I don't know if many people here know what that is, but it's pretty damn bad. I think it was discontinued in 2018. But basically, the whole idea was you had to get permission from Nintendo to use any footage of their games. And you had to become a partner, which means they would just steal a piece of your revenue, a pretty significant piece of your revenue too. So you already have YouTube taking part of your revenue to a degree. And then you also have Nintendo swooping in and taking even more of your revenue. That's how it used to be up until 2018. That was the only way to make Zelda or any Nintendo YouTube videos without getting copyright stricken. But I guess at some point they did realize that it was a horrible idea and they discontinued it. And I started my channel in 2020? Yeah, 2020. So a new meaning to take my money, Nintendo. Yeah. That's what they were doing. They were taking people's money. Actually, Let me quickly start up this thing one more time, because I do have to capture one more thing real quick. After that, I'm gonna call it quits, because it's way past midnight here. Gotta keep my sleeping schedule normal. So even the Breath of the Wild stuff was in that era. Yeah, just about. Yeah, I think so. I think it was 2018, right? Wait, let me check real quick. YouTube partnership program. Discontinued. Oh wait, no, Nintendo partnership program. Nintendo, yeah, it was around 2017. 2018. Yeah, Nintendo is shutting down its controversial creators program. So it was November 2018, it says. Right here. Nintendo is shutting down, and it's an article from 2018. So that's when it stopped. Nintendo and they phrase it so casually too, like it was always their intention. The Nintendo Creators Program is coming to a close at the end of December. Thank you to everyone who participated in the program, as if it was like a test or an experiment or something. They always manage to just kind of gotta respect how sneakily they can phrase that kind of stuff and still get away with it, because they're Nintendo, because they're the Disney of video games. Oh, that's just beautiful. Thank God I wasn't around at the time as a YouTuber, because I probably wouldn't have started a YouTube channel, or if I did, it wasn't going to be about Zelda. It was going to be about something completely different. Because I hate when people tell me what to do. It really messes with your creative freedom. When you have this big entity hanging above you. It's 0:50 here. What a sleep schedule. What's a sleep schedule, I mean? Yeah, it's 0:50 here too. So I guess we're in the same time zone. Central European time, I guess. You need to make fishing videos now. Well, I don't fish, but I don't know. I don't have any clue what my video, like what my channel would have been about if I didn't make a Zelda channel. Maybe like true crime or something, or like real life mysteries, because I do kind of like that kind of stuff too. It's just the problem is there's so many of those channels already. Like those missing 401 type of channels and stuff. Channels like Nexpo. There's so many of those. That was the good thing about Zelda. Like the Zelda theory lore community, so to speak, was not that huge. Like there were like a few figureheads, and then there were like the smaller channels that kind of are also up and coming. Because Breath of the Wild brought in so many new creators, but there were like all the other channels like Commonwealth Realm who had already been there for such a long time. My favorite real-life mystery? I guess probably UFOs and stuff. Even though I do not necessarily believe most UFO stories, there's a couple of cases where I feel like maybe there's something there. Where they actually did capture something on radar. Like something that, an object that was actually there. Like I'm very evidence-based. I'm not a conspiracy-minded person anymore, at least. So I generally don't believe in a lot of conspiracies or mysteries. Or if I do believe in it, I usually believe that there's a rational explanation for it. Oh yeah, I wanted to capture Hyrule Castle. But yeah, I guess if I had to choose, like, is something visiting sometimes? That's a pretty cool mystery. I want to get the soldiers in the frame too. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Something like that. Hit record. Oh, we get a time-lapse shot. We'll just make it a time-lapse shot, then I can talk. Tunic, Elder Scrolls, yeah, maybe, I have no idea. I feel like Zelda theories are kind of shifted from just being fencing fun, oh, sorry. I don't know what fencing means. Fencing fun, connection. Sorry, I'm still learning English words all the time. Doing games, trying to predict or explain what's happening. Well, I love the more creative theories. Doesn't matter about which game it is, just theories that are like, for example, the Majora's Mask is dead theory. Even though I don't agree with it, it was a very creative idea at the time. Those are those theories that have thought and effort put into them. That's my favorite type of Zelda theories. The problem with trying to do predictions, I've noticed that myself a lot as well. The biggest problem with that is that it's not evergreen content, which means that after the game comes out, all that content you made about trying to predict the story, trying to make theories about the story, all that stuff is useless, or at least it won't get any more views, like at all. Because the game is out now, we know what the answer is, and we know whether or not your prediction was right or wrong. Whereas other types of videos, like the last two I did, which were more like about mysteries, about older games that have always been around, those will be getting views forever, or at least for as long as people have interest in Zelda. You know what I mean? Like there's a longevity to that type of content. Because my revenue took a huge nosedive after Tears of the Kingdom came out, because most of the videos I did before that were Tears of the Kingdom predictions and theories, which are now all completely irrelevant. Wait, what did she say about Lake Hylia? I should go to Lake Hylia. Many things float down the river and end up there. Haha. Huh. Oh, she's talking about the bottle. Of course. Your theories were far more interesting than the official Tears of the Kingdom lore. Well, thank you. I feel very flattered for you saying that. I don't know if I agree. Maybe like the 8th heroine, for sure, I am convinced would have been better if they followed my theory. I honestly don't know about the other ones. I'm not too sure. Because I also don't want to predict the whole story and be right, because then I don't get surprised by the game. I'm just walking around aimlessly at this point. Oh, like here we have the pupper. Oh, I cannot capture him. At least not like this. I have to go into no clip. Actually, maybe I should switch to no clip real quick. And after that, I'm really gonna call it quits, because I have to sleep. But I can at least show you some no clip stuff real quick. This is Wind Waker, though. Yeah, this is the Wind Waker. Ocarina of Time 3D. Hyrule Castle. Where's Richard's house? Oh, Puppy Woman's house. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the quality of the textures is not great, but I could just do like a panning shot or something of the doggo, of the good boy. I usually just improvise my camera angles. I don't really think about it beforehand. Well, rarely. Unless I have a specific sequence in mind, but I just get a few different types of camera movement, and that's I'll choose one during the editing process. Maybe just a still image. Poor doggo, he dead. Hey Shana, thank you for joining. Been a while since I had a new member join during a live stream. Those low poly fruit, I love it. Yeah, well, you're not really supposed to see this kind of stuff. Like you don't see it from that angle. Like the table doesn't even have legs, because the only option you have is like either you see the house like this, or I think the camera like spins around like this, like when you walk around the house. So they know exactly what to model and what not to model. That's a great looking that's a great looking statue of the dog. Damn. Absolute masterpiece. I don't really need much footage from this place. Oh, there's doggy treats. Let's see, what else do we got? I know they don't have the ghost guy, the Poe Hunter guy, but I think I already got him recorded, so we're good. I do like how much detail there is to these environments compared to the original Ocarina of Time. Like, once you get used to these environments, the original just looks so empty. In fact, I think I can see it. It like, oh yeah, here it is. It's very limited, I believe, but where's the bazaar? Kakariko Village, maybe. Wait, what happened to the bazaar? Unused scenes. New. Am I missing something here? It's not there for some reason. But yeah, anyway, like the original does have kind of a cold emptiness to it. Like there's not nearly as much detail. Zelda and FromSoft games are good at creating speculation. Yeah, true. I mean, look at how much detail there is to these shops. It's great. He doesn't have legs either, because you're not supposed to see it from that angle. This guy also goes missing, I believe. Although he does show up at the celebration at the end, so he's not dead. We know for sure he's not dead. Almost done, and then I'm gonna call it quits. My biggest criticism with 3DS is the things look too clean. Some of it does, yeah. I mean, these shops and stuff I do really, really like. But like the bottom of the well, for example, it looks way too clinical. And they nerfed the blood. I don't think there's any blood actually. Let me check real quick. Yeah, bottom of the well. Yeah, there's no blood. Like these walls used to be covered in blood. I do like some of the other details, like the chains and stuff. But it does look a little bit too clean, I guess, like you said. Ooh. At least they kept the hands. I think if you compare it to the original, I know the original has, like, it's missing a lot of stuff. Where's the entrance? The entrance? No. Where is the entrance? I think here it is. Yeah, here, look. Oh, it does have the chains as well, though. Like, look at all this blood on the walls and on the floor. I think here too, right? Oh, no. I know, there's a certain eeriness for sure to the original design. They shouldn't have messed with that. Actually, the hands look better in this version. Was the blood removed in the GameCube version? Are you sure? I think the GameCube version was just a port. Like a straight up port. Like running on an emulator, so I don't think so. I mean, Dead Hand just looks flat out hilarious on the 3DS version. He's like pink. He's not even close to being as imposing as he is in the original. Just don't touch that. Only improve stuff. Don't nerf things. I hate that. Don't do it. Bongo Bongo runs a clean ship. Did you play Ocarina of Time ROM hack? Zelda Indigo? No, I never played that. I haven't even played Missing Link. Hello there, Vanishing Golem. Yeah, atmosphere is a big thing. Although I do have to say Breath of the Wild had a very good atmosphere too. A new and unique atmosphere to it. But I do think both Breath of the Wild and Tears are also a little bit too held back on the more mature themes. Like no blood, no nothing. Like I don't want Zelda to become Dark Souls or anything, but I do love how unrestricted they were with Ocarina of Time, where you just suddenly see this. And as Child Link too, that was just, I don't know. It was so cool, and it actually kind of like you feel Link's fear in a way, because as a kid I also had to overcome my fear because this place scared the crap out of me as a kid. Like I did not dare to go. Like I had to take a breath before I turned any given corner. And when I first saw Dead Hand, I think I just paused the game and I don't know, fainted or something. I don't know. I was very young, well, 12, but young enough to still be scared of that kind of stuff. Honestly, it reminds me of Doom 64 textures. Yeah, I guess. Kinda. Cyboodle. I guess they wanted to keep the E rating. Back when the original release, people may not have played far enough to get dark. I'll get to like these dark parts. I get what you mean. Maybe, or maybe people just weren't so sensitive back then. Because like I said, it was very effective because as a kid, this kind of stuff was genuinely scary. So by overcoming this, I felt the same type of courage that Link feels like in the story. Thematically, it was very effective. Same with Majora's Mask, all the more mature themes. And it also makes a game more timeless, in my opinion. Some of the more mature themes of Majora's Mask, you don't start to really understand those when you're a little bit older. So you get to experience the game, like you see it in a new light once you get a little older. It's like some children's cartoons do that too. They have stuff in there for children, but they also have stuff which adults can appreciate. You love this place? Well, you were more brave than I was then. Because I was shaking. I'm pretty sure I was. I don't even know if I played it alone. Or maybe my cousins were there with me. I don't think so, because my cousins were... They kind of started playing their own copies. At some point. Which I believe was after the Dongo's Cavern. I definitely made it to Adult Link. I became Adult Link on my own. But that I know for sure. So I probably played this on my own. Twilight Princess kind of messes up with that it feels like it's trying too hard to be edgy. Well, it was pretty effective, in my opinion at least. Maybe the dark graphics were a bit too much, like the moody graphics, especially the original. I think they did polish it up a little bit in the HD version. But I do see what you mean. But I love Twilight Princess. So I think it, like Ocarina of Time maybe is like the perfect balance between, like, the art style is not too realistic, so it's not Dark Souls, but it's also not childish, or, well, whatever constitutes as childish. Because I love the Wind Waker too, so it really doesn't matter. Like, graphics are the least of my worries when it comes to Zelda. Like, consistent lore and good gameplay is what I care about the most. And dungeons, of course. Good dungeon design. Which kind of falls under the gameplay as well. You can do so much with music and atmosphere without the graphics necessarily being exactly what you like. Because I was already starting to play games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill by this point, so this was definitely, after I finished this, I started to become more used to scary stuff. We should play Silent Hill on stream someday. Or maybe Half-Life. I always want to play Half-Life on stream, but I don't think anyone would watch, to be honest, because my audience is very Zelda focused, which I totally understand, but Silent Hill and Half-Life are probably my second favorite franchises together. I cannot really choose between the two. The old Silent Hills, that is. I'm very excited for the new remake of 2, because it does look good. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think I really have to start preparing for bed. Sorry for all the ramblings. I got all the footage that I wanted. So yeah, thanks for sticking with me through that. And it's always great to talk to you guys. Randall says, hey Monster Maze, I agree with the qualities for a good Zelda game. By the way, fun chaotic theories that I think the goddess of the sand from Ocarina of Time is Sonia from Tears of the Kingdom. Explain yourself, sir. Because I think if Sonia is anything, she would probably be the goddess of time. Because she has the same time powers as Zelda. Some say maybe the goddess of the sand is the goddess of time. Maybe, possibly. I think Commonwealth Realm made a video about the goddess of sand not too long ago. Oh yeah, it's my pleasure. I will focus on my releasing my Ocarina of Time video next week, and then I guess I can do another stream after that, and we can discuss some more ideas, because after that I do want to get into the more topical stuff like Masterworks, Echoes of Wisdom, which I have yet to make any video about at all. So yeah, always awesome of you guys to drop by. Really, really cool. Sorry if my upload schedule was a little bit spaced out lately, but I also wanted to take a break, summer break, or else I will go crazy. Let me see. Spirit Temple in Ocarina of Time did have a lot to do with time travel, being a kid and an adult. Yeah, true. But like the Arvidas Grounds didn't. I don't know. I always figured that the goddess of the sand was just like this other deity that the Gerudo worshipped. Maybe Din, like one of the 3 golden goddesses or something. I don't know. It's very difficult. I mean, for the longest time, we didn't even know who the goddess of time was. In fact, we still don't know for sure who the goddess of time is, because some people say it's Hylia because of the whole time shift stone stuff that she does, and the fact that she can see into the future, and you know, that she there's a lot of stuff surrounding the goddess Hylia, Zelda, and time in general. But it could also be Nehru, exactly like Brutus says. Some people argue that it's Nehru because Nehru created the laws of the universe, which I would assume includes time as well. Because Din created the earth, Nehru created the laws, and Faror created life to follow those laws. So if we're talking about laws, obviously it would be similar to like the natural laws that we have in our real life universe, you know, time, space, dimensions, all that stuff. The weak force, the strong force, whatever. Physics, basically, which includes time. So I guess you could also argue that the goddess of time is Nehru. So we're still not 100% sure about that anyway. So maybe the goddess of the sand is any of those 2. Although I highly doubt that the Gerudo would worship, at least not the Ocarina of Time Gerudo, would worship the goddess Hylia. Wisdom is associated with time, and you get Nehru's love nearby. That is also true, yeah. I do think there is also a lot of arguments to be made that it could be Hylia, because Hylia does have a lot of stuff to do with time in Skyward Sword, at least. And like I said, Zelda's power manifests as time powers, at least in Tears of the Kingdom, a lot in Tears of the Kingdom. And she's always been able to either travel through time, have some connection to time, you know, have premonitions of the future or the past. So, oh yeah, sure, Randall. I mean, just drop it on Twitter or something. Always curious to read about it. Hylia seems more like Hyrulean Jesus. than a god of anything. Yeah, well, she's like a lesser god. Well, not lesser, but she's not a creator god. There's three gods of creation, and then there's Hylia, who's like, well, maybe you could consider her a lesser god. She was created by the creator gods and put in charge of watching over Earth and all that stuff. So the golden goddesses really don't give a crap. They just made the world and then fucked off. And we're like, good luck, everybody. Have fun fighting over the Triforce, this hugely powerful relic that we just left behind here, which we know you will all greedily start fighting over. Oh, and by the way, Hylia, you keep an eye on those people down there, okay? Bye. So, yeah. Speaking of time, it's getting late here as well. I will bid you good night, take care, and sleep well. Thank you, Dreamweaver. Babysitter Hylia. But yeah, I really gotta go get some sleep. So again, thanks all so much for dropping by. Hope you look forward to the video next week. And I will see you on the next stream. Bye bye. Yeah, best way to close the stream with this face here. Do 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 do.